All right. Thank you so much, Shai, for meeting with me today. I'm glad to have you be a part of just sharing what your experience has been with Safe Black Space. As we get started, do you want to do a quick introduction about who you are and kind of what you do, kind of in the world or in Sacramento beyond?
Absolutely. So my name is Cheyennis Doom and I go by Shy. And I'm actually in transition and have been in transition for the last couple of years on my journey, my ever evolving journey of liberation that has also taken me back to school. So I am currently studying to become, and I am acting as an industrial and organizational psychologist who has also been educated on consumer psychology and using everything that I've been learning to actually inform the way I show up for my own liberation as well as the liberation of others. So Safe Black Space, for me, honestly, it came at a time when I really did actually need to connect with with local community. I'm from Southern California, and I moved up here to the Sacramento area in late 2019, prior to the pandemic. And prior to learning about Safe Black Space, I had started actually leaning into the Black ERG or Employee Resource Group at the time because, of course, summer of 2020 happened, and everyone was looking deeply and inward, and there was all of this sparked interest on like we're going to talk about all the things that like you've had to pretend were just elephants in the room all of this time. And so it was interesting because I had actually helped to implement something that was very reminiscent actually of Safe Black Space, although not done in the kind of structured and intentional way that the Safe Black Space sessions have been held. So for me, it has meant that I know at least one Saturday every month, I am taking time to just literally fully be virtually immersed with other Black individuals that make up the community, across Sacramento. And I know that we're going to have conversations that for many of us, we hadn't been able to have conversations about before, especially, just not with psychological safety. And it also means that like it's a space where I don't have to mask. I don't have to be anything that I am not. I can literally just be me and be in the moment. However that looks for my own healing journey, but then also knowing that I am playing a part when I'm interacting with people on Safe Black Space and their healing journeys. And we all come to this space with different backgrounds, different places that we're at in our liberation journeys, but like we all know that we are here for the assignment of nurturing one another through it. Man, in so many ways, and I was like, oh, I will not cry this time. Um, I honestly I've been on just such an amazing journey when it comes to Safe Black Space because when I first started, joining the events, I hadn't been as consistent. Like it was kind of, I would have some breaks in between, just because of my schedule and my, lack of prioritizing it. So I think I was kind of gone for a little bit. And then, let's see, around the time, months into my layoff in 2023, there was funding for Safe Black Space and there were opportunities out there. And I actually interviewed, and I will say that like experience was one that was very, it was actually a catalyst for many things for me with Safe Black Space because it illuminated for me that like, hey, and it was something I already knew, but it just made it so it just really brought it to the forefront of like, hey, like I don't have experience in community for many different reasons, right? And again, these are things that I've explored in my path to liberation. And so what I appreciate about Safe Black Space is that I came into that moment, learned a lot of uncomfortable things about myself, and I took that and I used that to fuel me for the next year. So all 2024 was me actually like going outside and showing up and showing out. You know, I went to my first Kwanzaa Katoa, which was like so just beautiful and amazing, dancing with everyone and drumming with everyone. I think a few months later, I was at one of the African drum circles, and through that experience, I ended up joining a sister circle. I didn't even know that that there was a whole program, but they kind of adopted me, and so like for I want to say like a couple of months, I was joining some Zooms on Wednesdays, and then like getting to do these like amazing activities with Dr. Tia. Um, like hula hooping and making, healing through art. And it was just like such a beautiful experience because all throughout 2024, even when it wasn't specifically a safe Black space event, I would interact with different people who were connected to safe Black space through different events. You know, in the community, and like doing pop-up events with my jewelry business. Like I started to see this like evolution of when I was first doing pop-up events, it was like people were looking at me like, I don't know her, does she even go here? And then like, just throughout the year and just getting that familiarity, just being embraced and doing my work, a lot of that changed. And so there's that part of it, but then also going back to school and wrapping up my first semester and doing my literature review that's going to be for my upcoming treatise. Like I ended up learning about Dr. Linda James Myers. I'm sure she was brought up before, but it's just, of course, like you can't absorb all the information that you get all the time. And so like what I appreciated was there was something that was said that resonated with me, and then I just started immediately Googling it, and I realized, OMG, this is actually the missing puzzle to this like research and work that I am doing that actually explores the performance of civility in the workplace and basically why we are where we are today. And learning about doing the introduction to optimal psychology. So I would say long-winded way of saying safe Black space has been just this like serendipitous catalyst for my liberation journey, for my awareness and understanding of community and how I show up and I show out in the world, as well as just amazing experiences like the upcoming optimal psychology retreat I'll be at next month. So just, I can't say enough good things about the fact that it started, there's how it started. And then even like some months back going to Dr. Tia's wedding and running into one of the women who had interviewed me, who I hadn't spoken to since, who recognized me, and like seeing how it started and how it's going, and just the difference in how I was showing up, and no longer feeling guilt or shame for, just the way that I had been raised and the way that my worldview had shaped, just again, how I interacted with community. So let's see, I've also been to this year's Kwanzaa Katoa, and then also I was at an event for where we were talking about reparations actually at Sac State. And let's see, I would say I don't know if I'm necessarily the best person to answer this question, only because I am not a native to the Sacramento area to know like how people were necessarily showing up before. What I can say is that I feel more familiarity, and I feel more acceptance, and I just feel more how do I put it? I'm seeing a lot of crossover in people that I know who may or may not be affiliated with Safe Black Space, and just the ways that we even put people on to each other. So Prime example, I did a retreat at my home the day before the inauguration, which actually involved people who I met through Safe Black Space and people who I met through other parts of my journey, not realizing that some people didn't even know each other. And then it turned out that some people did. And that was just such a beautiful thing to see, just all of that come together. Yeah, I don't know if I really answered that question, but just a lot of synergy, a lot of crossover, a lot of just full circle moments. Um,
Mhm.
Probably different people. Well, I definitely want to say I am so sad that my travel schedule just keeps being misaligned to some of these like really key in-person events. But I definitely want to just congratulate Safe Black Space on the on your longevity. You started, as a response to something just very horrific that happened, and you took that and you brought in everything that I know you have an illustrious career and you've been knowing about all the things for many years. And I just appreciate that, like, you took the initiative to make Safe Black Space happen, and that you've also been very intentional about having the right people to continue to carry its legacy forward so that new people can join the organization. And just my genuine hope is we can get more people involved in Safe Black Space, because while it is a very supportive and intimate and just beautiful, loving group, I know there are more Black people than this in Greater Sacramento that would definitely benefit from this space.